And welcome back to the show. The ability to find affordable childcare in New York is becoming ever increasingly more difficult for parents. However, the Salvation Army is offering childcare services to families with their early learning centers. Now, the program is providing a tailored program that's helping develop children between the ages of 2 and 5. And here to speak more about that, we've got the General Secretary at Salvation Army Greater New York Division, Major Kevin Stoops. And Major Stoops, glad to have you back. And as we talk about this, it is very real, because when we talk about parents really trying to find the best care for their children, we know that upwards of dollars can be spent a month, and really affordable is not really happening in New York. Talk about the work that you're doing in trying to bridge that gap.
Yeah, we provide 6 childcare locations in New York City, right? 2 in the Bronx, 1 in Queens, and the others in Brooklyn. And these are affordable places for parents to go because it's under contract with New York City Department of Education. I think one of the key things as people return to work in an office situation coming off the pandemic is the need for not just a babysitting service or a watchfulness of their children, but an education opportunity for their children. And I'll tell you what, that's important with the Salvation Army. We want people to learn their how to learn their letters, learn their numbers, learn socialization skills. When children have been isolated for so long with just their screens, maybe they don't even know how to talk to another child. Maybe they don't know how to share toys. Maybe they don't know how to play together. Maybe they're not using their imagination. All of these components are important to the Salvation Army in their child care centers. And I think a main component as well is that we provide what we would call a safe place. It's not just a safe place physically for the child to come into, but it's a safe place for them emotionally. We're not going to let there be teasing going on or any bullying to go on. It's a safe place for them psychologically. It allows them to share their fears, express their feelings in a way that is empowering and important. And all of this goes together to begin to build the foundation for a child for their future years in school, but also their future years in society.
Yeah. So who's eligible to take part in your child care programs as of now?
Yeah, right now it's I would say that there is an enrollment process, but it's very open. So just if someone is interested in finding childcare for their child who's age 2 to 5, call up the Salvation Army. You use our website, salvationarmyny.org, and you'll be able to go through that criteria. It's probably not good for me to sit here and list out any specific criteria because it might be different for the center which you're applying to, but not cumbersome at all, not restrictive in any major way except that age. And you'll want to get your children into that, especially at this time coming out of the pandemic.
For you, what's it? Talk to me about the work that goes on in reaching people, because we know that some of the people that come through your doors are actually refugees, and the ability to meet them where they are, providing multicultural classes. I know that you do, to try to help them to bridge the gap and also to help to acclimate them into current mainstream society.
Yeah, one of the real keys of Salvation Army service is not just restricting our assistance to one little micro zone or one little area. It's really treating the whole person. So when a person comes in, let's say that it's a family, they need childcare, but maybe they're also looking for assistance with food because they're hungry or they're experiencing some financial need or gap. Salvation Army, through use of case managers, etc., will really walk that family through whatever the need is that they're expressing. One of the key ones we're seeing today, and you just said it, is refugees or coming in need of shelter, need of accessing some of the legal resources that are available in a community. So taking a family by the hand and allowing them to reach out to the agency so they can get identification, proper work documents, proper school registration documents, maybe even right up to a social security number, driver's license, things like that. And that's the kind of service that we as a Salvation Army want to do. Look at the whole person. What is the need? How can we come alongside you? Open doors for you. Is it language acquisition? Is it is it the ability to provide a translator so that when you go to a place, there's communication that can take place in a very meaningful way. These are all things that the Salvation Army wants to do, because it's not just about one little area of a person's life that the Salvation Army wants to come alongside. It's the whole person.
You talk about helping them learn and get acclimated, but we also know that those persons sometimes struggle in the area of food insecurity, and being able to have the basic necessities. Share with us a little bit about the wraparound services that you provide when it comes particularly to helping people with food and also even with clothing.
Yeah, Salvation Army has always had a food response to people. It's a basic need of a person's life. It's a foundational thing. If a person's hungry, they're not going to be able to learn. If a person's hungry, they're not going to be able to work. If a person's hungry, they can't critically think for addressing other needs in their life. So the Salvation Army sees that as a basic response strategy for us. And through the use of soup kitchen, grab and go food pantry, choice pantry, where a person can actually go in and choose the food that they need. These are all strategies that we have around our 38 units in the greater New York region. And so if a family just expresses that need, comes in, documented or not, doesn't matter. We want to meet the need that you have. And then once we start there, let's get you fed, let's get you resources. Then we find out what other needs do you have. And for some, it's then medical. Maybe it's getting to a clinic, so that in one of our units in Jamaica, we have a clinic right downstairs of that building that rents our space. So we're able to get them right into that clinic so they can be checked out in that way. But these are all ways that we address the needs of the whole person. We don't want to just be a Band-Aid on a person that's experienced cut. We want to be addressing and maybe even resourcing them by referral, so that they can use the whole community, have the whole community opened up to their disposal to help meet the needs of the family.
Yeah. And the work that you do can't be done alone. We know that there's a great staff that you have and volunteers. How's it going for you? Talk to us a little bit about the staff and the volunteers who work tirelessly to meet these needs.
Yeah, great. I'm glad you asked that, Darren, because at the current time, the Salvation Army has many openings, many vacancies. There's a staffing shortage. I think this is being felt across the community at large, but we have many openings, and we're not getting many applicants for those job openings. This is concerning, because it usually means then someone's got to fill in double the shift or do an overtime shift. It puts a lot of pressure on the existing staff. So if there's people out there that are going to listen to this, and you're interested in the kind of work that we do, maybe in a child care center or a shelter, again, contact us at the salvationarmyny.org, and you'll see the opportunities that are available. This is an important time for volunteering. I think there's people that during the pandemic have not been able to be engaged in helping people through volunteering with an organization. We would love to see you volunteer at the Salvation Army, whether that's through helping at a day camp this summer, through a food program that the Salvation Army runs. And then as we lead up into the fall and winter through the holiday program, you can help the Salvation Army by volunteering. And that's a very valuable resource to us.
Well, Major Stoops, we're going to leave it there, but thank you so much for joining us and continuing the great work that Salvation Army is doing and bridging the gap for so many people across New York City. Major Kevin Stoops, our guest, and thanks again for joining us.
Darren, always great to talk to you. Thank you.
All righty. Well, guess what? If you want more information now, you can always visit their website, salvationarmyny.org, as Major said, and then also follow them on social media at Salvation Army. We want you to stay with us, because guess what? We do have more show. Open continues coming up right after this.